Hello there, Daniele. Okay, let's see. Engaging in leisure activities can improve my useful abilities than reading in book. Okay, so engaging in leisure activities can prove more useful than reading a book. That would have been a better way to phrase that. I totally sounds a little bit more like spoken English. So I would have said, I strongly agree that reading is an activity people do alone and involves few skills. Okay, this essay will demonstrate that enjoyable tasks are more effective than reading, using an example of game consoles and sports to demonstrate points and support arguments. Good. Very good. Very good. Firstly, playing video games cultivates active skills, whereas reading is a passive action. Good. Or whereas reading is passive. Would have been okay as well. Or is a passive activity. Maybe is better. There's small improvement, not a correction. So that's a good sign. This is because electronic consoles such as Nintendo DS or PlayStation, well done for the capitalization there, that's excellent, and well done for using relevant real-world examples. That's what we want to do. Develop spatial awareness, reflexes, and hand-eye coordination is the best way, is the normal way of saying it. Well done for using 3 lists, 1, 2, and 3. All of those are great topic-specific vocabulary to help you score higher. So keep that in mind when you want to mention a list, and keep it in mind in doing it in that format, 1, 2, and 3. For example, recent studies by Yale University showed that children who play video games for an average of 2 hours per week have a better performance. Okay, perform better is okay as well. Perform better in sports compared to offspring who do never use contractions in your formal academic essay, who do not use electronic game devices. Genius, and that was just so eloquently written. Okay, showed that children who for an average, great structures, crystal clear, well done, Daniele. Therefore, the advantages of playing video games clearly give children abilities that reading cannot provide. Genius, well done, fantastic. And using the structure, keep that structure and you're onto a winner. Secondly, practicing sports helps young people to improve their social skills. Practicing sports is the subject here, and it's third person singular, so it has to be helps to improve their social skills, which are not used while reading. Genius. The reason is that being part of a team involves interactions, negotiation skills, and cooperation with other members. Good. Okay. So we didn't need the use of. It's redundant. What I'm saying by redundant is that we can say the same without those extra 2 words. And plus it's grammatically incorrect, but good list again, and good topic-specific vocabulary. For example, research from the Sports Academy in Brazil highlighted that students who play sports such as football, volleyball, or water polo perform better in groups than children who are not so active. Genius. Thus, sports help to develop skills, or help developing skills. Yeah, help to develop skills, because we've got 2 verbs together there. Help to develop skills which can be used in many social contexts. Genius. In conclusion, I firmly believe, strongly maybe, believe that children who do enjoyable activities, what could we say instead of do? I'm just looking at improvements here, not corrections. Who partake in enjoyable activities, who engage in enjoyable activities, who enjoy physical activities, just to improve it, you know? So words like do, be, big, small, some, are usually words that can be substituted for more specific vocabulary that will help you boost your score and enrich your writing. So let's see. So I firmly believe that children who play enjoyable activities are or have a considerable advantage because they have the chance to improve many different skills and not only their academic knowledge. Genius. I hope in the future schools will promote more of these activities. Very good for using the future sentence. What could have we said to make it more academic instead of using these personal pronouns? It is expected that in the future schools will promote more of these activities. Okay, and then we've used it is, the structure it is. So well done there, Daniele. That's a fantastic first essay. Nowadays, people have less interaction with their family circle than before. This essay will demonstrate that communication between relatives has decreased. Is an example of the internet and work hours to demonstrate points and support arguments. Good. Firstly, it is undeniable that the internet, or could we say instead of the internet, that the World Wide Web, that increased connectivity, that, I don't know, whatever. It's undeniable that the internet has dramatically changed the way people communicate. Good. In the 40s, only the privileged could afford to buy a phone, whereas today computers are very cheap and many families have one. So we've switched from computers to from phones to computers. Okay, that negatively affects your coherence because what we should have said could afford to buy about a phone, whereas today technology is ubiquitous or is very cheap, and many families have more than one device. Okay. And we're kind of sort of like linking it back to the phone, which is what we started with. We say have more than one device. As a consequence, people spend more time browsing websites such as Facebook or YouTube. Solid examples, good. Often at the expense of face-to-face interactions. And I said often because I wanted to hedge it, okay? Hedge it, and that's some of the chapters coming up, so don't worry about that, but just keep an eye out for it. For example, studies conducted by Sydney University showed that families who have computers spend 2 hours a day online and have few occasions to talk to each other. Good. Therefore, families choose to spend more time in the virtual world and less with their peers. Very good. Could have been hedged as well. Therefore, it is common, or therefore it is increasingly common for families to spend more time in the virtual world and less with their peers. Good. Yeah. Okay. Or less with people. No, peers is alright. Secondly, people have very busy lives. In modern society, both men and women have to work long hours to repay their debts, such as money loans or mortgages. Very good. Also needed hedging. In modern society, both men and women usually have to work long hours to repay their debts, such as money loans or mortgages. Good. As a result, they often work until late during weekdays, and they usually do not have enough time to engage with their families. So instead of do not have enough time or have not, instead of a negative construction, we can use a negative verb and we can say, and they usually lack enough time to engage with their families. Good. For instance, research by Harvard University noted that a full-time employee works an average of 60 hours per week, 10% more than a worker in the 90s. Thus, parents would be more precise. Okay, actually no, there's people or workers are those people exhaust their energies and time at the workplace, usually leaving very little for their families. Okay, that was an optional bit to put on, just to increase comprehension, but it's still good. That's very good. It was just an improvement, not a correction. That's the right track to be on. In conclusion, I completely agree. I strongly agree. Completely agree that in the modern era, the communication, within a family is less than in the past. I hope that in the future this trend will change and people will start enjoying their family time as they did in the past. Once again, same issue as before. It is expected in the future that this trend will change. People, actually, it's not really expected, is it, in the future? So what could we say? We could say it is expected this trend will undoubtedly continue into the future unless governments or employees or companies start to change attitudes and actions or implement policies or whatever. Okay? Good work. Great start, Daniele. Now, the next task, what I want you to do is implement all the corrections that you've heard in these essays. Okay? Go through, write it, and modify it. Second, make a list of the mistakes. Maybe it was singular plural, maybe it was changing the personal pronouns to an it is statement. Okay, go through and write down what you did well, what you did bad, what you did not so well. And the next essays that you send me, I want you to check for these mistakes and look for them and try and improve them yourself so that the examiner doesn't have to. This is a way to boost your score. Okay, you're doing really well. I want you to keep writing and let's keep up the pace. Okay, and 24 hours, that would be fantastic. Have a good day, Daniele. All the best.